Alright, let's just dive in on this one, shall we? We actually lost to this deck in the last match yesterday. I wouldn't be surprised if this deck's really sweet. It felt good before Once Upon a Time, and Once Upon a Time just gives us more ways to find Allosaurus Rider consistently, as well as lands. So this deck, if you haven't seen it before, the basic idea is you cast Allosaurus Rider for free by pitching 2 green cards. Then you cast either Neoform or Eldritch Evolution to turn Allosaurus Rider into Griselbrand. And then Griselbrand lets us draw a pile of cards. And then Nourishing Shoal, along with expensive green creatures, allows us to continue drawing a bunch of cards. And then eventually we draw the entirety of our deck. And once we have the entirety of our deck in our hand, we pitch a bunch of Simian Spirit Guides and cast a Manamorphose and put a Laboratory Maniac in play. And Laboratory Maniac has 4 mana Jace's text box, which is if you would go to draw a card, your deck is empty, you win instead of losing. So basically, you draw your entire deck and you win the game. With Chancellor the Tangle and Simian Spirit Guide, with the right combination of cards, we can do this as early as the first turn. So let's go in and make some people salty. What do we cut for Once Upon a Time? So this is like, this archetype was like tier 2 at best beforehand. So I don't really have a change log for what was cut and what was not, because there isn't really a stock deck list. This is just a random viewer submitted list before Once Upon a Time. I'm pretty sure Neoshoalbrand was on my website. Is this a deck list that's dead? Of course the Neoshoalbrand deck list on my website is one of the ones that's dead right now, so I can't pull up the old list and compare. Need to add some Once Upon a Times into that one. Oh, Moto. Moto hasn't had its coffee yet this morning, chat. Moto has died. Alright, you know. How are you all doing? Hope you're having a better morning than Magic Online. When people talk about Arena getting worse with every update, I just like to think of it as Arena's getting back to its WotC software roots, because Arena, it can nowhere near come close to matching the buggy pile of spaghetti mess that is Magic the Gathering Online. Is it necessary to use Auth if I want 2-factor on Twitch? Twitch also offers a text 2-factor. I know for certain. Pretty easy mulligan here in the opener. 4 of our 13 lands. No combo pieces other than Neoform. This hand... and this is the awkward part about this Once Upon a Time as a cantrip, which this might not even bust this deck, honestly. So obviously Once Upon a Time helps you get redundancy on this, but the fact that it's a cantrip that doesn't find Neoform or Eldritch Evolution is kind of a big deal. I think I'm mulliganing in here on 6. The hand doesn't have an evolution in it. Yeah, this hand is good, right? We're gonna keep. We're gonna go bottom Shoal, bottom Manamorphose. And then this can potentially turn 2. Let's re-add the deck queue and submit deck commands. I think if this bot lost all of our stuff, I'm gonna change to a different bot. Because the MTG bot's had like nothing but issues lately. And if it's lost all of our stuff, there's no reason to keep using it. It's been super laggy. Alright. Sometimes Infect plays main deck Spell Pierce. They don't have main deck Spell Pierce. We're very likely to be good to go next turn. Just waiting on a land. Alright. 5 shots to the land. 12 of them in our deck. Okay. I want to keep the Summoner's Pact because Summoner's Pact getting us a worm is valuable. Don't pierce me, Daddy. Don't do it. There's my boy. Looking for a Nourishing Shoal, which we found. Yeah, it's super unfortunate that the bots are all having issues like right at set release, like right when we're having peak viewer counts, when they're like most needed. Well, we Neoform shuffles. So when we resolved Neoform, the deck shuffled. We've not found a Noxious Revival yet, right? No, doesn't look like it. Morning, Jerry. Alright, there's the other 2 shoals. So we use these shoals, pitching 7 drops now. Shoal, pitching 7 drop. And where are my spirit guides at? Where are my Simians? They're around. Oh, do I not have them yet? Oh, so take another hit from the Grizzly Bees. Last time we played this deck, it did not have Serum Visions in it. Like I said, so one of the things people do assume incorrectly a lot of the time is they make this really bad assumption that like one specific list is the given list, and that anybody that's not playing that specific list is playing not the ideal list. But like, there's a reason why these decks are tier 2 and not top 8ing most events, right? Like, there's a lot of variation in them a lot of the time. So, I think this is definitely a deck that constitutes, like, not being popular enough to have a specific given ideal list. Yeah, we played Dissenter's Deliverance last time. Is exactly correct. Alright, what are we doing for Veil of Summer here? Hey, Ring Tingy, thanks for the 16 months. Subs, something I'm going to try and remember to plug today. I sent out a sub survey via email last night, so check your email that your Twitch account is registered to for that. If you don't see it, check your spam folder. If you already did it, thank you for your feedback on shaping the future of Hooglandia. If you haven't done it and you don't see the email, you can find more information. You can find a link to it in the sub Discord server. It's just a Google form. I like your stream. As a European student, you don't have a bad feeling to stand up at 12 o'clock and still hear good morning. Howdy, LF8. Thanks for the 14 buds. Yeah, I guess I can add the Discord command back in too. I actually added a page to my website about Discord, and there's a panel under the stream now. I'm gonna give the MTG bot guy like probably till the end of the week to try and get our stuff back, but if it doesn't recover, I'm gonna switch to a different bot that like hopefully won't be a laggy mess. This hand's actually really good, right? This just needs a green card. So I'm keeping this a 5-card hand. Here's a question. I think I'm actually supposed to bottom. I think I'm supposed to bottom both lands here, because if I bottom both lands, so here's the thing. If I use the once to get a land, what's the words I'm searching for? If I bottom the once and a land, I have to draw exactly a green card to combo them on turn 1. If I bottom both lands, I can draw a green card or a land, assuming this finds me another land. So I guess the question is, let's do some math here, because this is the longest part. This is the longest part of these games, right? So there's 53 cards in our deck. This deck only has 13 lands in it, right? I'm pretty sure. 13 lands. So this, assuming I don't draw a land for the turn, there's 11 left and 52 cards that we don't know. We're looking at 5. So we're 71% to hit a land if we bottom both lands and then draw a non-land. Now, the other percentage we need to calculate is how many green cards do we have? So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 18, 22, 30, 34, 36. There's 36 green cards in my deck. And I have 1, 2, 3, 4, so there's 32. So if I bottom both of these and keep a land, I'm 32 out of 53 with 1 hit. So if I bottom both lands, or if I bottom land green card, I'm 60% to hit a green card on my draw step. So I should bottom both lands because I'm more likely to hit a land off of this than I am to draw a green card naturally, trying to draw a green card. Yeah. Yeah, we're like 10 percentage points up by doing that. Well, I'm glad we did the math. I'm glad we did the math. Never tell me the odds. Thanks for the very generous tier 3 Pokemon Dirt. I appreciate it. Welcome. Thanks for keeping me around. Alright, well, if you're gonna be Grafdigger's caging me, I'm cutting these Veil of Summers and just gonna linear. Ewok Slayer, thanks for the 15 months. Little did we know we were 0% the whole time. That's peak modern right there. Spend a minute and a half doing precise calculations. Concede on turn 1. And that's a note too, like talking about once upon a time, like only finding specific things in our deck, right? Like if that had been Dissenter's Deliverance, things change. If this hits a land, I go Allosaurus Rider, pitch this, land, mana this. So if this hits a land, we can put a thing into play. Do subs last for a month or for 30 calendar days, I believe. 5 minutes of math for 30 seconds of gameplay, yep. Alright, cue the carnival music. How do you beat Grafdigger's Cage? Just don't let him have a turn, chat. Just don't let him have a turn. Best way to beat Grafdigger's Cage, don't give him a turn. Where's your Grafdigger's Cage now, opponent? Can't cage my monster. You can't cage my monster. He's too powerful. He's too strong. Too strong. No. We also had, and if they've had, before anybody says they should play Force of Negation, our last card in our hand was literally Pact of Negation this game. So just like the Stone Cold Perfects. All right, so there's 2 shoals left in our deck. I suppose we could theoretically miss on one of these shoals, right? I should probably thin my deck as much as possible. Hey, Super Pun. I have resubscribed during peak modern games. I submitted 3 decks. You rejected one and accepted one. It's unclear which of them. I know which one you rejected. Yep, I remember. Oh, the other 2 were fine, dude. Light. I think I forgot to specify in that email that they were both fine. You sent in what were the 2? I'm pretty sure the other 2 were both fine. I already burned my Noxious Revival. Alright, so if the last 2 shoals are in our bottom 6, we lose here. Never didn't have it. Nothing but net. Nothing but net. Oh, wait, are we short a Simian? I'm currently short a Mana Monkey, aren't I? All right, that's fine. We got some peak tire spinning here. Whew. Whew. All right. Good. I was worried for a second. I was worried for a second we were going to have to give them a turn. The most important part about games like this one, when you're playing in person, is that you extend your hand at the end and you say, good games. Because this game was very clearly good. That is why Wizards of the Coast has not banned this deck yet. It's very, very, very clearly the types of gameplay that Wizards of the Coast wants to exist. The smarter, thinner Magic player won. Yeah, 6-turn match. Game 1, they took 2 turns, I took 2 turns. Game 2, I conceded on 1. Game 3, I killed them on 1. Hey, no, we played 4 total turns in the first game. Thank you very much. My deck is incredibly fair. We had a turn 4 kill in one of the games. 2 + 2 is 4. Don't let the fake news media try and tell you that my deck's unfair. Only the post-board games ended on 1. And honestly, the worst part was I had to concede on 1 in one of the games because they played a sideboard card. So obviously we should ban Grafdigger's Cage. I'm pretty sure if there's any kind of reasonable takeaway from that, we should ban Grafdigger's Cage. Oh, I want a die roll. That's exciting. This is actually a keep, right? This hand needs Allosaurus Rider and a land. Pretty sure this is a keep. Yeah, potential to turn 2. Sorry, turn 3. Turn 3. Gotta get the I'm not used to the jargon. Alright, there's the land. So if this finds Allosaurus Rider, we get him. Okay, did not find Allosaurus Rider, but that's fine. So I get to play this land out and I get to pass. And then this other Once Upon a Time gives me 5 more looks at another Allosaurus Rider to turn 5 them. Yeah, I'm aware it's instant. Sakura Tribelder! Yay! I'm gonna Once Upon a Time in response. That one. I would like that one. Okay, now let's not draw Griselbrand. If we draw the second Griselbrand, it'll be real bad news bears. Alright, perfect. Can Valakutite never win this matchup? I think only when we hit our failure rate. So this is why you play 2 Griselbrands in this deck, is because sometimes you draw one in an otherwise keepable hand. So you want a second. Now it is worth noting. I have 2 Waterlogged Groves and dealt 4 damage to myself this game. So like my health total is how I combo. I didn't pact at all, right? Is it crazy to just like say go at 9 here? So I don't just like die to a bulk? 'Cause like they're not killing me on their turn 4, right? They can't take this off the table. Yeah, like I like passing, I think. It doesn't really matter what I do here. Oh yeah, I should have kept the spirit guide, so I could have paid for Pact. That's a good call. But yeah, like next turn I get to hit them with Griselbrand. And I'm like draw extra cards. They can probably raise Griselbrand attacking, but they likely can't. They usually, their deck doesn't really kill on 3. So like if I don't kill them till 4, that's not a big deal. Yeah, we're very likely dead on their 4th turn. So our next turn killing them is mandatory. It's just for those that don't understand this deck, so we could have gone for it. For those that don't understand this deck, the reason to wait is I get to hit them with Griselbrand this turn, which allows me to gain 7 more. So it lets me draw more cards, obviously. Obs. And I'm also going to be something to think about now too, though, because I let them untap, is a lot of these Valakut decks are playing Bolt in the main. So, I guess I have Pact of Negation, so Bolt's not even a concern. JK, LOL. Bolt's not a concern. I have Pact of Negation. Griselbrand has card link. Draw cards equal to his damage dealt. That's a good way to think about it. Look at how incredibly fair this was. We didn't win till turn 7. Can you believe how slow and balanced our deck is? I can hardly believe how slow and balanced our deck is. It really speaks volumes to the deck that we're playing that, like, Valakut's the good guy in this matchup. I feel like you need to take a step back and reflect on things if, like, you're playing a deck that makes Valakut the good guy. You think Neobrand is as good / fun as Neoshoalbrand was? I definitely think it's as fun. I think this deck's much better. The fact that this deck doesn't die to graveyard hate is huge. So I think we just cut for Pact of Negations and bring in 4 Force of Nature. Seems real clean. Because I expect them to have Grafdigger's Cage out of the board potentially and Damping Sphere. Honestly, Bob, you probably beat Burn with just like turn 1 Griselbrand go more than you beat it by comboing. Once upon a time for a land, or a land lets us kill them, right? So we're gonna keep this. YOLO Swaggins. Survey says, gosh, we are so unlucky. Just the unluckiest. Ten out of 10 would gamble again. This is why Arena doesn't have a draw card button at the end of a game, because they haven't figured out how to program one that actually works. Honestly, I wonder if they should just remove it from Magic Online, because it's just like, what are we doing with ourselves? And gambling on a land in such a favored matchup is rare. I don't think so, Bob. This deck has like a reasonable failure rate. So like the question is to make our decision with math. I should just leave this calculator open, huh? Oh, I did have it open still? All right, whatever. So we had 53 cards with 17 hits. Basically, maybe you're right. Okay, the math, I think the math agrees with you. So we're 68% to miss there. I think we're better. I think we're better than, we're probably better than 32% to kill on 5 or 6. Yeah, I think you're right. When in doubt, math it out. This is unfortunate. This also does nothing. I guess we keep this. We're just like looking for an Allosaurus Rider. Just land go. Once is, you know, I'm gonna count once as a guaranteed hit for this thought experiment. So what we like to refer to as good enough in the biz. I'm just gonna pass for now because we need another green card still. You're right. We had I closed the damn calculator. We had Simians as hits too. With Simians as hits, it might be correct. It gives us 21. 4 extra hits gives us 8%. So we're 40% to kill them there. Oh, we had 1 in hand. No, we didn't have 1 in hand. I'm not counting Chancellor. We had a Chancellor in hand, Pikes. Chancellor's not included in that calculation. I'm counting 13 lands, 4 onces, 4 Spirit Guides. So a green card, if we draw a green card and once into an Allosaurus Rider, or draw an Allosaurus Rider, we're good. That's unfortunate. So I guess we're just hanging out still. Hey, thanks for the tip, dude. Sounds good. I was right to keep because you lost the coin flip. Your cumulative. Yeah, we're 40% to kill them, which I don't think is particularly unreasonable. All right, so very likely dead next turn out of the opponent. Need to draw an Allosaurus Rider or a green card here. If we draw a green card, the once needs to find an Allosaurus Rider. All right, we drew a green card, so we get 5 shots at an Allosaurus Rider. Swing and a miss. Alright, probably dead. Well, we'll make them kill us. Should have kept Grove for a cycle, you're certain. Yeah, I'd believe that. So, this lets them Colony Heart. Okay, the fact that land's tapped means they can't scape shift us this turn, so we got that going for us. They get to deal some damage with this Valakut. We can take a peek at one more card to see if it changes the outcome. So Summoner's Pacts and Allosaurus Riders get us there on this next draw, most likely. Seems not completely unreasonable. And this is why this deck's not banned, most likely, is because it's a little bit inconsistent. It just like creates real feel bad moments when it goes off. Can I draw a card? Does the draw a card button work? Can we find out if not keeping the cycle land did us in? We'd have gotten there. We'd have gotten there, chat. All right. Yep. Should have kept the cycle land. We should have kept the cycle land regardless. It's definitely optimal to keep it. Regardless of what that card is, it's right to keep it. But in this instance, making the statistically optimal play would have allowed us to win the game. In your 13-line deck, have 6 lands in the top 10. Yeah, it's what we call variance. It's what we call variance. Contrary to popular belief of Magic the Gathering players, variance does not mean uniformly distributed. We're on the draw. This hand just needs a couple mana sources, right? So I think we keep. I don't know. Yeah, hand's definitely good enough against Tron. I mean, like, we could miss, but like we could also get there, so. Oh, this deck, sure. So if I hit, I could cycle this Manamorphose to try and hit Mana Monkey or Shoal. So like here's a fun question in spots like this. Do I cycle for blue-green to play to... Do I cycle for blue-green to play to drawing Neoform, or do I make red to play to the other one? They're both 4-ofs, right? It's the same thing. I'm gonna make blue-green. YOLO. Alright, well, we get to do the thing next turn if we get a next turn. UG spells Ugh, so I'm gonna make Ugh. Don't thought not sear me, bro. In the end, it doesn't even matter anymore. As you can see here, my opponent has assembled the illustrious turn 3 Tron to make the incredibly powerful play of Matter Reshaper. Alright, they played Chalice. That locks us off of a green pacting for... That locks us off a green pacting for what's it called? Let's zoom in so we don't misclick here. The bot still hasn't been recovered. The guy in charge of it has not messaged me back yet. If he's not able to sort it by the end of the week, I'm just gonna replace it with a different bot. The MTG bot's just had mono issues lately. I want something that actually works. I'm tired of all these MTG tools not working. For the love of God. I mean, there's a non-zero chance the quotes are lost to history. I mean, I'm hoping that he has backups somewhere. That would be my hope. My hope is that he has backup somewhere, but as someone who's worked for people who don't have backups before, I'm also not going to hold my breath. Alright, where'd my guy go? Look at how slow and fair this game was. Look at that. 6-turn game. Long game. Sideboarding with this deck seems pretty clean. You get to cut the 4 packs and just bring in 4 Force of Negation here. Force of whatever. And bringing in Force of Vigor even, like, ups our green count, which is sick. Yep, more green cards, please. Thank you. The real takeaway from that game, chat, should be, if you're gonna bother to assemble turn 3 Tron, put more powerful cards in your deck than flipping Matter Reshaper. That should be the takeaway from that last game. Rider. Yeah, this hand turn 1's right. Floop the whoop. Put a mulligan to 5. Go to 4. Go to 4. Go to 4. More importantly, this hand turn 1s. It doesn't care about Chalice on 1 or 0, which is great. So just gotta dodge Grafdigger's Cage out of them. Lab Man being on the bottom is scary. It's not at all. It's not at all, Pikes. You go Spirit Guide, Manamorphose for blue-green, evolve an Neoform and Allosaurus Rider into, or evolve an Allosaurus Rider into the Lab Man. I'd call, but they don't have a number. There's definitely Wizards customer support, and I would definitely recommend calling. Aww. Tron played a map. Oh, we even drew the Force of Vigor in the event that they had a hate card. Good. Look at that. Oh, and we shuffle when we get our thing, chat. For people who are like, it being on the bottom is scary, we shuffle when we get our thing. Should have exiled the Force instead of... Yeah, you're correct. Exiling the Force is technically optimal. Keeping the more expensive card in my hand is ideal. Look at that, chat. So we played 6 turns in the first game and 2 turns in the second game, and 6 plus 2 is 8. So this match averaged out to 4 turns per game. So thus Modern is a turn 4 format. So don't you dare let anybody out there tell you that my deck is too fast and unfair. Because that match very clearly shows that our average win is on turn 4. And for those of you that are rolling your eyes at home or think that that sounds silly, that's a good reminder that numbers don't lie, but people lie with numbers all the time. Logic, circular logic and bad reasoning like that are why people like Ben Shapiro sound smart to people who are very dumb and not paying attention. Because if you talk quickly and confidently and cite a bunch of numbers that are technically correct at a glance, it feels like, and those feelings validate what you feel on the inside, it's very easy to just go with it and be like, yeah, that's really smart. That makes sense. The Bus Driver, thanks for the 11 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. A wise man put his feet in the freezer and his head in the oven and had an average temperature. Yeah, that's a great way to put it, Pike. Yeah, he is BS. Just like my explanation of how we're a turn 4 deck's BS. Confidence is everything. So this hand is not, Ben Shapiro is not a politician. He is a news media style talking head that parrots a lot of bad faith GOP talking points. Is pundit the right word? Pundit's the right word. So what are we doing with this hand? If we're drawing a Spirit Guide, we're killing them possibly. So I think we're going land pass for now, because next turn if we draw a land we can kill them, right? Yeah, two worms the standard. You can Summoner's Pact for the worms, Magic Applegate. So when you're comboing, you have 6 of them. Alright, so that's a Pact of Negation. Do I YOLO here? So like what are the odds I die next turn is the question I have to ask myself. I feel like the odds are low. Like, I mean, like, this deck's fun, and it's fun to combo people, but I want to play the deck optimally, too, right? So, like, I could Manamorphose and try and hit a land or a Neoform here. So, like, okay, math time. There's 51 cards in my deck. There's 12 lands and 4... There's 12 lands and 4 Neoforms. My sample size is 1. I'm 31% to hit here. If I pitch Spirit Guide. Once Upon a Time doesn't do it because I'm casting Manamorphose. So if I'm cycling, once is no longer free. No, Spirit Guide doesn't count. So the count here is like, if I make Spirit Guide doesn't count because I need Manamorphose to make blue-green to make Neoform and out. I could make green-green to make Simian Spirit Guide and out, but there's 4 Neoforms and only 3 Simian Spirit Guides in my deck. So, like, the question I have to ask myself is my opponent more likely to kill me than I am to fail here? I think we're supposed to wait a turn. I think the odds of my opponent killing me next turn are very low. And, like, it could definitely happen, but I think the chances are low. Actually, here's an interesting thought. Do I just cast Allosaurus Rider? Some of these decks play Dismember in the main, right? How many Infect decks play Dismember in the main? Yeah, so it's not about affording to block. It's about not having to discard to hand size. That's a good observation. If I cast it, I can't do a free Once Upon a Time. Yeah, so I'm just gonna go ahead and pass here and bin this extra rider. Maybe I should bin the Pact of Negation. I don't know. I kind of want to have a Pact to beat a Spell Pierce next turn, but they also haven't played blue mana yet, so maybe I shouldn't do that. I should just keep the extra green card. And again, I am aware that we could die this turn. So could definitely just lose the game here. Dead to a +4. Dead to double mutagenic growth. Yeah, I should have been Pact of Negation. It's got double mutagenic growth and it doesn't matter. Okay. So we would not have gotten there last turn. And now we have to go for it, otherwise we're dead. And we missed. So how many percentage points? Actually, here's another question. How many percentage points do we gain by waiting? Because we gain Once Upon a Time as an out too. So we gain 8 percentage points by waiting. That's probably worth waiting. Happy with our play, didn't get there. I think on the play, I just click submit. Pack for Simian Spirit Guide, yeah, right? Oh, we gain Guide as an out if we also wait. Yeah, that's true. Wow, that's a lot. Yeah, it's like 16 percentage points. Ooh, that's a good question. That's a good question. If I would have cycled both packs... If I had cycled both packs, that's a good thought. I'd have been drawing to 16 outs at that point. So it's 33 versus... You gain 1%. But still optimal to do it. Once we were all in, we definitely should have done that. This seems also pretty bad, huh? This hand doesn't accomplish a whole lot. Needs if we hit a Neoform, it accomplishes a whole lot, but it's currently just hanging out. Just hanging out near our failure rate. I should play this and cycle it, right? Probably. Yeah. I guess that cuts us off of Evolution isn't out. Could have gone for beatdown on turn 1. Get out of here. Rancor. Okay. So we're probably dead on their next turn. 8 hits. Alright, on the very teeny tiny off chance we're not dead, we get 2 redraws. Scale of 1 to dead, what are we working with here? Good games, opponent. Good games. Yesterday's Modern ran long. I feel like today is distinctly not in danger of doing that. Today is distinctly not in danger of running long. We'd have gotten there. That's fine. That's fine. So we're 2-2. I punted our first loss by making a wrong mulliganing decision, so we could probably be 3-1 if I had played slightly better. This is a keep, right? It just needs a green card. The Goblin combo deck was super clunky and awkward. Now, exiling a Wurm here does feel a little bit bad. But hand's definitely a keep with just like any green card letting us go. Griselbrand. Griselbrand has been granted permanent resident status. He's found his green card. Yes, Eldraine is the last set of 2019. Yeah, we got shoals, man. Can I ask for my submitted JC list to be played until I've play tested my Emery list? I might make you play with Emery. And yeah, sure. Whatever you want. As a heads up, there actually is an Emery list that someone else had submitted waiting to be played. So, if you wanted to compare to that, you're welcome to leave yours, or you're welcome to add a different iteration or bump the one that's already in there if you want to see it sooner. The modern queue is a teensy bit backed up since we took off part of last week. And, what's the word that I'm searching for? We took off part of last week, and we've only been doing 1 a day. We might go back to 2 a day next week. Just to make sure we don't get too far behind. I have a Noxious Revival in here. Doesn't look like it. Alright, there's the last shoal. Perfect. Gazenti, thank you for the 22 months of support. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. Hope you're having a good one wherever you are. Cast Manamorphose, make blue-green. Yeah, there's just no reason to risk it, Magic Applegate. There's no reason to, like, let them have a counter spell or a bounce spell or a path or any number of other random things like interact with my thing and kill me when I'm, like, pretty likely to kill them on the first turn. Alright, turn 1, Urza thing. They played a Wayfarer's Bubble. Does Wayfarer's Bubble, does that imply they're Bluetron and I'm supposed to leave Pact of Negation in? I think that's what that means, right? That one goes and gets a basic land. Yeah, implies this is the card they played. Search library for a basic land and put it on the battlefield tap. Now I think I'm just supposed to leave the Pact of Negations in. I'm pretty sure Wayfarer's Bubble is Bluetron. I'm not confident enough that it's Bluetron to board in this. Also, like, for free counterspell seems fine. One of the things I'd like to instill in you when playing decks like this and aggressive decks and stuff like that is that less is more is always an ideal sideboarding strategy. When you are not 100% certain, board less. The more you board, the less consistent your deck is. When the stream's preview is the calculator screen, you know some nonsense is happening. Ain't that the truth? You know things are getting a little crazy when it's just, this is great, right? It's, 1, 2, 3, make a Griselbrand now. What could it be? Alright, so you get 6 shots at a land. And then assuming they have no interaction, they die, most likely. Yep, exactly. Unless you are 100% certain with what you're supposed to be doing, just don't board. Do 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 beep beep do 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 beep 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 do 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 do. It's right to keep the 7-drop. No, you want to keep the 7-drop as your last card because this way we have a fatty if we draw a shoal without a fatty. So strictly correct to keep our 7-drop there. Morning, Callus. Don't mind me. Just drawing cards. Don't mind me. I'll just be over here drawing some cards. One little spirit guide, 2 little spirit guide, 3 little spirit guides. But Jeff, now we'll never know what kind of Tron they were playing. It's a question that will haunt me till the end of my days, chat. What kind of Tron were they playing? What kind of Tron were they? Yeah, my opponent paid money to experience this. They paid $10 to play this league. All right, and we hit the 3-2 with kind of an absurd amount of ease. And if I had made a better mulliganing decision in game 3 of match 2, we would have very easily hit a 4-1. This deck's great. And by great, I mean for the love of all that is sweet and holy in the world, Wizards of the Coast, ban fast mana in flipping modern. This card should not be legal. Mox Opal should not be legal. Take these cards and tear them out of the format like you should have done years ago. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. All right, let's play some standard, shall we? Let's play some standard. Chancellor's fine. Chancellor's bad enough that it's fine. This card, I'll give you this one. I think this card's real bad.